Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Chris's Collectible Cars, and it's time for another vlog video this week. And this week I'm going to focus on my upcoming kind of expanding American muscle car collection. And as you can see right here, I've got my binder that's that I got as part of the collection for my magazines, but I'm also going to show you some of the cars from the collection as well. So fasten your safety belts and let's go. Let's get ready for this. So this is the first car that I'm going to show you today. This is the Chevrolet Corvette C2 Stingray Coupe from 1963, which is the split version with the back windows, a split window, I should say. And it's a beautiful looking car and nice colour as well. I'm going to read to you as well some of the statistics when it comes to this car, just so you know a little bit about what the car does and some of the information regarding this particular classic car from America. And as you can see, this particular model comes with a nice backdrop with the shell kind of more on it, and very reminiscent of the time during that boom period when I guess classic cars and American muscle cars were starting to become really big and popular. And I guess that kind of started in the late 50s with the kind of rock and roll era, and then on to the 60s, and also here in the UK as well. So if I just read you these statistics, it's a Chevrolet Corvette C2 Stingray. It's got 360 CV S8E gross, which I believe is horsepower, hence the horse's head. Then it has an engine of 5.34 cc and a V8 front. Top speed is 231 kilometers, which is pretty fast for a car from 1963. So speed wise, very fast for a very for a car from the early 60s. You know, this is when cars were starting to become a lot more faster, and sports cars especially were starting to become more of a trend, definitely. And fuel capacity, I believe that is, hence the petrol pump, 16.1 litres for every 100 kilometres. And the overall price for the car at the time in 1963 would have been $4.35 US, which I don't exactly know what translates to today's money. I have trouble figuring out what that would be in like British pounds, let alone US dollars, especially like back then. I mean, my knowledge of numbers isn't the best, you know, my maths isn't the best either. But yeah, that's a little look at the C2 Stingray Corvette. You can see it kind of from every possible angle. I think the light's pretty good in here, so because I'm sitting near the window, so you can see it kind of in all of its glory. I might just take the top off as well, so you can get a little bit of a better look at some of the details. So I'll do that in just a second. So this is the Corvette with the top off the case. I had a bit of trouble getting the case off because I didn't realise it was actually stuck down with sellotape, but I fixed that very quickly. So just moved that little bit of sellotape out the way, and there you can see it, the Chevrolet Corvette C2 Stingray. And you can actually see it a lot better out of the case, and some of the fine details on there. An absolutely beautiful casting, I think. Die cast model. There you see those lovely grills there in oh, what a nice car. It's actually got pop-up headlights as well. That's really cool. And as I say, it's got the split window at the back. Very, very unique car in design, especially with the two back windows being split. I think that's a very unique feature. You don't really get many cars like that. But in terms of design, I'd say it's almost very Japanese inspired in some ways. It looks a lot like the Toyotas or the Datsun Fairladies of the day as well. I don't know if the Japanese took inspiration for that, because I know they came a little bit later on, but in the 60s. But yeah, very, very nice car, very nice Corvette, definitely. Can I get a little shot of the interior maybe? You can sort of see the seats in there if you look really, really closely. But yeah, very, very nice car. Very, very cool. And I actually got this from an American car magazine. This was the first car in the actual set, in the actual series. And I think in terms of quality, this magazine has produced some really, really, really nice American die-cast muscle cars. So that's the first, and I certainly hope you like it just as much as I do. Very, very pleased. Very, very nice car. Definitely one of the best in my American muscle car collection so far, definitely. So yeah, very, very cool. So this is the Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 from 1970 with those beautiful stripes across the top. Kind of reminds me a little bit, especially with the paintwork, of the Shelby Cobra with the stripes. But this is the Chevrolet Chevelle SS. As you can see, it says SS. I think the tyres on this car are very cool. That's the first thing I noticed. The Goodyear tyres, very, very cool on there. And a very nice, interesting looking front grille. And you see the rear of the car there. Really, really nice car. Don't really know too much about the Chevelle. So when I got this particular car, it was a bit of a nice novelty to actually look at this car a little bit closer and appreciate it. And as you can see in the background, the model comes with this display case with kind of a cornfield backdrop, which is quite interesting. So let me read you some of the statistics of this particular car. I can turn it around with one hand without knocking it over. So yeah, there we go. If we bring it into the light, that's better. So horsepower 450 CV SAE gross. Engine power, I guess, 7.443. I don't know what CC means. Is that catalytic converter? I should know this, really. My interest in cars is more about the aesthetics and the engineering, really, but I try my best. It's got a V8 front, same as the Corvette from earlier. It's 202 kilometers. That's the top speed, which isn't too bad. And the fuel capacity 26-8 litres for every 100 kilometers. And the price in 1970 was, I guess, 4,470. Is that $4.470? As I say, my maths is terrible, but those are the statistics. So I guess if you know more about it than me, you'll actually know what that means. But it's always kind of good to know these things, a little bit of background information. So I'll take the top off this one so you can have a look at the Chevrolet Chevelle up close in all of its glory. So this is the Chevelle. It's got one wing mirror which is interesting, like most cars had at the time. Guess there was fewer cars, less traffic on the road back there in those days, back then. But yeah, nice double headlights at the front and a nice front grille with SS, of course, written on it. You can see the interior really well in this one as the windows are kind of wound down. And really nice back. I'd say the UK equivalent to this at the time probably would have been the Cortina Mark II, but it kind of looks a lot like the Capri as well, or the Console in looks and design. But I do like the hood. It's very cool the way it kind of pops up with the stripes on it. That's really cool feature. But yeah, very nice car in this lovely blue colour. But I definitely think that the tyres are the coolest thing on this car, without a doubt. But yeah, I think I've fallen in love with this car. The more times I actually look at it, it kind of grows on me. So yeah, I think this is a nice addition to the collection, and yeah, definitely very nice car indeed. The Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 from 1970. Beautiful. So for our next car, this is the last car in this series that I'm going to show you. It's the 1977 Pontiac Firebird, and it's not a Trans Am. I think it's a slightly earlier version with that chrome. Slightly earlier than I think Knight Rider, the Knight Rider days. But this is probably my favourite of the three. An absolutely beautiful car with that lovely, amazing, if you can see that eagle on the hood, the gold eagle. Almost an iconic car, really. A lot more modern than the two other cars that I've shown you. But this car has some very good features. Slightly more futuristic, I'd say, as we're heading into like the late 70s and that kind of era of cars. But I'm trying to show you it from all angles, but I'll take the top off the display case a minute so you can get a look at that really cool kind of sunroof with the double windows on the roof, which is a really cool feature of this car. But yeah, love the 1977 Pontiac Firebird. Let's have a look at some of the statistics of this car as we turn it around, bring it into the light. It's got 200 CV SAE net, that's horsepower, engine capacity 6.5858 cc. It's got a V8 front, does 190 kilometers per hour. It's got a fuel capacity of 19.5 litres for every 100 metres, and the price would have been $5,456 US, I guess. But those are some of the statistics for the 1977 Pontiac Firebird. An absolutely beautiful car. I'll just pop the top off this case now so you can get a closer look at this bad boy in all of its glory. So here it is. What an absolute beast this car is, an absolute beauty. If I bring it more into the light, but look at those sunroofs for each side, the driver's side and the passenger side. Of course, this is left-hand drive, being an American car, which is interesting because most countries drive on the left. We're kind of different here in the UK, but some really cool design on this car with the gold stripes. I think that the black and the gold works really well together. But I would say this was probably the most iconic car that Pontiac probably ever brought out, really. I mean, it is such an iconic car, but it's got two wing mirrors, of course. You can just see the difference in the modernisation and the age from like the 63 Corvette to this, and how things changed in close to 20 years later in production. Close to 20 years or 10 years? yeah, over well over 10 years, close to 15 to 20 years later for this car. But yeah, love that Eagle, very, very cool. Such a nice car. So yeah, that's the third car in this series of American muscle cars, and I'll be back with more on the way soon, because I know that there's a few more that I've got to show you in the pipeline of these beautiful die-cast American cars. But yeah, love the Pontiac Firebird, an absolute beauty. And I never thought I'd ever get a 143 scale version of this, because I do have the Hot Wheels version, but it's nice to have a bigger version of this in its true form. So very, very nice car, very, very cool indeed. Love it very, very much, very, very happy with it.